Delete Me and Incogni aren't scams,
That's a sensible place to start.
but they're a paid subscription market built on a failure that should never have been dumped on ordinary people in the first place.
You're paying a company to submit removal requests that you may be able to submit yourself for free.
And because the underlying data sources keep feeding the machine, the work often has to be repeated,
Removal is rarely a one-time event.
which means the business model isn't really delete me. It's please keep deleting me because the system keeps vomiting me back up.
Not catchy, accurate though.
He's the guy with the plan for your online life. Keeps your data safe, cuts through the strife. Small biz owners, yeah, this is your guide. Cyber threats, beware, no place to hide. The small business cybersecurity guy, guarding your world with a sharp eagle eye. Tips and tricks to keep your systems tight. Stay secure, stay strong in the digital fight.
Welcome back to the Small Business Cybersecurity Guy. I'm Noel Bradford, and this is episode 4 of the Open Book Problem. Recap, so far we've looked at public exposure, attacker reconnaissance, social engineering, data brokers, and regulatory failure.
Today we look at the services that promise to remove your personal information from data broker databases.
Delete Me, Incogni, other similar services, the people removal industry, if we want to give it a name that sounds less like a dystopian car wash.
The question isn't whether these services do anything. Some do. The question is whether they solve the UK problem well enough to justify the cost.
And the sharper question is why you need to pay a subscription to exercise rights you already have under data protection law.
These services exist because broker removal is tedious. You've to know which brokers exist. You've to find their removal route. You've to make the request. You've to verify identity. You've to track the response. Then you've to check whether the data returns.
So the product isn't privacy. The product isn't having to do a miserable admin task.
That's a fair description.
And miserable admin has been monetized because the regulator didn't solve the miserable admin at source.
Some users will find value in delegation. Time has value. Repetition has value. A central dashboard has value.
Agreed. We aren't pretending there's no service there.
But UK users need to understand coverage. A service built heavily around US data broker lists may not match UK exposure sources.
Because a UK director's problem isn't only the American people search economy.
It includes companies' house, open electoral register data, UK marketing lists, UK broker ecosystems, public profiles, domain data, and archived records.
Graham, what should a UK SMB director ask before paying?
First, which UK data brokers are covered. Second, whether the service covers the brokers that actually hold your data. Third, whether it touches upstream public sources or only downstream broker copies. Fourth, how often it repeats scans and removals. Fifth, what evidence it gives you that data was removed.
So not just a calming dashboard with a percentage bar and a privacy-themed color palette.
Ideally not.
The upstream point is crucial. If your home address is still on company's house as a public service address, a broker removal service can't fix the root cause.
Correct. It may remove copies from some broker sites, but the source remains available.
That's like paying someone to wipe muddy footprints while you keep inviting the horse through the lounge.
The horse seems unnecessary.
The horse is the regulatory environment.
Then it's necessary.
Don't leave your business exposed. Hit subscribe and like the show. Stay informed and protected. Small business cybersecurity guide. Security tips you can trust. Subscribe now. Stay secure.
A DIY approach starts with priority, not perfection.
Because if you try to remove yourself from the entire internet, you'll go mad and start shouting at web forms.
Step 1. Fix official sources first. Check Companies House. Change live addresses if needed. Apply to remove home addresses from the public register where eligible. Opt out of the open electoral register where appropriate.
Stop the upstream leak first.
Step 2. Search major people search and broker sites that appear for your name, address, company and director profile.
This is where you discover what the internet thinks you are. Brace yourself.
Step 3. Submit subject access requests or erasure requests using clear templates. Step 4. Track every request. Date sent, response deadline, outcome, follow-up, complaint route.
If you don't track it, you'll lose the thread. They're relying on that.
Step 5. Recheck after 3 to 6 months.
Because the data broker machine isn't a filing cabinet. It's a compost heap with broadband.
That may be your worst image yet.
Let's be fair, not everyone has time to do this.
Correct. A director running a business may decide that paying for delegation is sensible.
That's fine. Paying to save time isn't stupid.
But paying without understanding the limits is risky.
Especially if the marketing implies a level of deletion that the service can't deliver for UK sources.
A good service should explain scope, limitations, broker coverage, repeat checks, exclusions, and evidence.
A bad one sells you a privacy comfort blanket and hopes you don't read the washing label.
Users should ask whether UK-specific brokers are included, whether Companies House-related exposure is addressed, and whether the service helps with official suppression routes.
Because if the answer is no, you may still need to do the most important work yourself. Here's the point I want to land. The scandal isn't that private companies offer removal services.
They saw friction and built a product.
The scandal is that the friction exists at this scale.
If individuals need subscription services to manage legal rights, that suggests the underlying rights are hard to exercise in practice.
Exactly. Rights that require endless labour favour the confident, the educated, the wealthy, and the stubborn.
You're well represented in the last category.
It's my love language. But most people won't spend evenings chasing brokers. They won't track reappearance. They won't write complaints. They won't know which sources matter.
So the people most exposed may be least able to reduce that exposure.
That isn't privacy by design. That's privacy by stamina.
There are cases where paid services may help. If you're time poor, at personal risk, highly visible, or already dealing with harassment, delegation can be useful.
If a service removes dozens of listings you would never have found, that has value.
But treat it as one layer, not the whole solution.
Do the upstream fixes. Then consider whether a paid service adds useful coverage.
Also read the broker list. Check the jurisdiction. Check the cancellation terms. Check the evidence provided. Check whether removal is manual, automated, repeated, or just requested.
And remember, a data broker saying removed may mean suppressed, deleted, hidden from search, opted out, or shoved into another internal category with a nicer hat.
Terminology matters. For a UK SMB director, my priority order would be this. First, Companies House address exposure. Second, open electoral register opt-out. Third, obvious people search results for your name and address. Fourth, domain registration privacy and old technical records. Fifth, LinkedIn and job advert hygiene. Sixth, broker removal requests, starting with the ones that actually show your data.
That's boring, which is excellent. Security that works is usually boring.
We should put that on a mug.
Nah, nobody would buy it, which proves the point.
Want the deep dive? Check the sources. All the details, guides, and courses. Hit the blog for scripts and more. The Small Business Cybersecurity Guide.co.uk. The blog. Real security. No fluff.
A good removal service should prove its work.
Not with soothing marketing, with evidence.
It should show which brokers were checked, which records were found, which requests were sent, which brokers responded, what changed, and what remains.
The privacy version of PICS, or it didn't happen.
Exactly. It should also separate unavailable data from removed data.
Because we've all seen dashboards that turn uncertainty into a green tick.
For UK users, the service should also explain which UK sources it can alter.
That should include company's house, electoral register exposure, public records, domain records, press archives, cached pages, and social platform content.
It should make clear whether it helps with official suppression processes or only broker opt-outs.
If it can't touch the source, it should say so in letters big enough to embarrass the marketing department. The danger isn't only wasted money.
The bigger danger is false confidence.
A director pays for removal, sees a dashboard improve, and assumes the threat is handled.
But the director may still have home address exposure at company's house, an open electoral register listing, detailed LinkedIn posts, exposed job adverts, weak payment controls, and old login portals.
In other words, the digital garden looks tidy because someone swept the patio while the shed is on fire.
I'll allow that one.
Privacy services can be useful, but they can't replace basic governance.
They also can't replace verification controls. Removing data reduces attacker context. It doesn't stop every impersonation attempt.
Exactly. You still need payment checks, reset checks, MFA hardening, and staff who are allowed to say no.
Many removal services grew from the US market.
Which makes sense. The US people search ecosystem is enormous and aggressive.
But UK users shouldn't assume US coverage maps neatly onto UK sources.
The UK has its own exposure pattern, company's house, the open electoral register, UK credit reference relationships, UK people search sites, local directories, professional bodies, sector lists, charity registers.
If the service's broker list is mostly US focused, a UK director may see limited benefit.
You may end up paying in dollars to solve the wrong country's problem.
Check the broker list before subscribing. Search your own name first. Identify the visible sources, then test whether the service covers those sources.
Buy based on evidence, not anxiety.
Removal requests often require identity verification.
Which is reasonable up to a point. You don't want anyone deleting someone else's records for fun.
But users should be cautious about sending more data than necessary.
Because it's a special kind of irony when exercising privacy rights requires handing over extra identity documents to a company you don't trust.
Redact where possible. Provide only what's needed. Ask why a document is required. Use secure submission routes. Keep copies of what you sent.
And don't send your passport to a random web form at midnight because a privacy dashboard made you feel productive.
That feels oddly specific.
Experience is just a pile of oddly specific warnings.
Before buying anything, run the 2-hour test.
I like this. Cheap and annoying. My favorite category.
Spend 30 minutes searching your name, company, address, and director profile. Spend 30 minutes checking company's house and electoral register exposure. Spend 30 minutes identifying the top broker or people search results. Spend 30 minutes submitting the highest priority removal or correction requests.
After 2 hours, you'll know whether your problem is upstream, downstream, or both.
Then you can decide whether a paid service saves time or solves little.
That's called making a purchasing decision while conscious. Vendors hate this one weird trick. There's also a role here for MSPs, accountants, solicitors, and business advisors.
They should be helping clients understand exposure, not pretending it sits outside their world.
If you advise directors, ask whether they use home addresses publicly. Ask whether they know about open electoral register opt-out. Ask whether their job adverts leak systems. Ask whether payment changes require real verification.
This doesn't need to become a huge paid project. It can be a checklist, a quarterly review, or a governance conversation.
And if you sell cybersecurity, but never mention the data attackers use to target your client, what exactly are you securing?
That may annoy some providers.
Good. Some providers need cardio. Delete Me and Incogni aren't scams.
But UK users should understand what those services cover, what they miss, and why the same data may return.
The bigger issue is that a paid market now exists to help people exercise rights they already own.
Use free routes first where they solve the root cause. Pay only where the service gives you real coverage and saves meaningful time.
Next episode, we bring the full cast in. Kareem will rank the threats. Graham will give the action list. Moven will take the policy angle. Lucy will bring the accountability findings. I'll try not to swear too much.
That sounds optimistic.
Before you buy a privacy subscription, ask this. Am I paying to fix the root cause, or am I paying someone to chase the mess the root cause keeps creating?
Right, before we let you go completely, let's have a quick chat about the boring but necessary legal bits. Don't worry, I'll make this as painless as possible. First up, and this is important, everything we've said today represents our own personal opinions and experiences. These views are ours alone and don't represent any organisation we work for, any employers, advertisers, sponsors, or anyone else who might be connected to the show. When we're giving you advice or sharing our thoughts, that's coming from us as individuals, not speaking on behalf of anyone else. Everything we've talked about today is for general guidance. It's meant to point you in the right direction, but it absolutely shouldn't be treated as professional advice tailored specifically to your business. Your situation is unique. What works brilliantly for a Birmingham bakery might be completely useless for a Manchester marketing agency. We do our very best to keep everything accurate and current, but let's be honest here. The cybersecurity world moves faster than a caffeinated squirrel being chased up a tree by Mauvin's Jack Russell. Things can change between when we record and when you're listening, so always double check critical technical details with qualified professionals before you go making major changes to your systems. If we've mentioned any websites, products or services, we're giving you information, not necessarily giving them our seal of approval. We can't be responsible for what happens on their end or if things go sideways when you use them. Some things we recommend might involve affiliate partnerships. We'll always flag those when they come up because transparency matters. Now, if you're dealing with serious cybersecurity incidents, actual data breaches, or gnarly legal compliance issues, please talk to proper professionals, rather than just relying on podcast advice. We're here to educate and help you understand the landscape, not to replace your security consultant, solicitor, or IT team. This has been a Small Business Cybersecurity Guy production. Copyright 2025, all rights reserved.
Click subscribe and join the ride. Together we'll shield the digital tide. Your business is strong when your data's secure. The Small Biz Cyber Guy, here to ensure. Thanks for listening, we're signing off. Stay cyber safe no matter the cost. The Small Biz Cyber Guy says goodbye. Until next time, keep your